Hi everyone, this is Elena of the Witches Box, and I'm here today with another episode of Witch Booktube. And today is going to be kind of a little bit of a hybrid, because the book I'm talking about is called Sun Magic by Rachel Patterson. It's one of the Pagan Portal series books that's put out by Moon Books. And these books, if I'm not mistaken, a while ago, I feel like a long time ago, like at the very beginning of the Witch Booktube series, 3 years ago now, 2.5. It's been a while, maybe since 2018. I don't know, it's been a while. I feel like I've already done a Pagan Portals book in the past. I'm not a complete fan of these books, only because the Pagan Portal books that I've read have always left me wanting more. They are really designed to, in a quick, digestible book, give you like a cursory view or a summary view of a particular topic. It's not meant to go deep dive, deep into something. For that reason, they serve a purpose for sure, but you know me, I want the goods, right? Now, that said, this book I picked up to read because this month, the month of June, we are focusing on sun magic for the Witches Box. And I was just kind of gathering information from different directions. So for that reason, I want to talk about it today. I also want to talk about the sun magic box in particular. So let me just stop and read to you the deets on the book first. So Rachel Patterson is High Priestess of the Kitchen Witch Coven and an Elder of the Kitchen Witch School of Natural Witchcraft. A green kitchen witch with an added dash of hedge witch and folk magic, she is also the author of a number of books including Kitchen Witchcraft, Moon Magic, and A Kitchen Witch's World of Magical Plants and Herbs. She lives in Portsmouth, UK. If the name sounds familiar, it's because 2 videos ago, I reviewed another one of Rachel's books called Curative Magic, right? So the name is familiar, the writing is familiar. Interestingly, what it reminded me of, because she was very thorough here, it is very much a very detailed book of sun magic or sun work correspondences. And I liked it for that because it gave a much more rounded, I think, descriptor for the vibration and energetic of the sun, because we're focusing on the sun right now in June for the box. And really, this is why I was reading it. This is why I would recommend it, because I'm going to read you the table of contents. For those of you in particular who received the Sun Magic box, you know that we're taking that planetary magic box and taking it into a very internal direction and doing some personal work around it. We're not covering the fullness of what the planetary magical realm is when it comes to sun magic and the sun in general. I recommend this book if you want to take that work and then go further, because you're getting in this book a very long list of correspondences that can be very helpful in taking that work further. So let me read you really quickly what the table of contents is for this book. This is how it starts. Who am I? Let the sun shine in. The solar cycle. Sun phases for magic. Magical properties of the sun. Sunday. Sun gender. Sun worship. Solstices and equinoxes. Solstice magic. Equinox magic. Solar eclipse. Eclipse magic. Solar water. Journey of the sun through the wheel of the year. Sun signs, sun herbs and plants, solar tea blends, sun incense blends, sun oil blends, foods ruled by the sun, crystals, crystal associated with the sun crystal grid, mirror magic, sun animals, meditation to meet a solar animal, solar deities, meditation to meet a sun deity, sun invocations, drawing down the sun ritual, solar plexus, sun altar, sun symbols, the sun tarot card, solar offerings, rainbows, rainbow meditation, solar spells, celebrating the sun meditation, solar divination, sun runes, sun superstitions and myths, and to the dark side, solar crafts, sun magic recipes, and finally to the sunset. I mean, holy cow, it's small. Each of those topics are covered in terms of a summary, but there's still so much information that will give you a broader view of working with the sun in your magical work. So I really liked it for that. I thought it was really great. I think that for those of you who are working with the sun magic with the box this month, this is an amazing companion to that box. I'm actually feeling a little regretful that I read this book after the fact of putting that box together, because I would have loved to have actually included this book in that box. So I recommend it for that. I also want to talk a little bit about what's happening with the Sun Magic box that we're putting out, that we put out for this month, because it is on sale now. And I put out an email for the newsletter last week where I talk about the fact that this box for this month is the second time that we're going to take the work of the box into a much more ritualized, transformative working together as a group during our deep dive gathering. When this video goes out on YouTube right now as you're watching, there are probably still 2 weeks left in the month so that you have time to buy the box, read and do the homework, and sit with that work so that we can all do a ritual together at the end of this month for the deep dive. And I want to encourage you all to, if you're called to this, I know that so many of you have written to me and talked about how, yes, it's great getting stuff in the mail, but we want to do work. We want to do ritual work. We want to do things together that create a spiritual witchcraft community in something that is substantive. And this is the second time that we're going to really do that with the deep dive gathering focused around the theme of the box. So here's what I want to say. For those of you who are interested in participating in that way, this is the box to jump in on. I'm going to say a couple of things. One, those who were subscribed have already gotten the Sun Magic box. We have extras. If you want to buy one of the single boxes and then you get an invite to the deep dive at the end of the month, do so that you can get a taste of the kind of work that we're doing and doing much more of moving forward. Number one. Number two, there is a real reality where if you buy the single box, you get the homework sent to you in an email, but you miss out on the conversation that's going on in the forum throughout the month while we all process together what the theme and what the work of this box is going to be for the end of the month. However, you still get a chance to participate in the gathering, in the ritual at the end of the month. And I recommend it because we're going to keep moving further and further into this direction where we're doing work together. Because again, you've heard me say it here. Those of you who've ever been on the live book coven or the deep dive gathering, or even the lives that I do on Tuesdays over on Instagram, you've heard me say this, that the purpose, the mission statement of the Witches Box is to facilitate the deepening of a witch's spirituality in whatever we do. And more as I assess what we do and what we create here at the Witches Box, I put what we do to the test of that mission. And I'm constantly being not only challenged, but pulled deeper towards fulfilling that mission in a way that really is impactful for all of us. And I hear you. You want community, you want ritual, you want to learn, but you also want transformation. And we do that together by doing the work. So that's why this book, that's why the theme. We're going to do Sun in a very different way. Yes, we'll talk about ways to do spells with Sun magic, but really what we're going to be doing is about claiming the power of who we are truly at our core through using the embodiment of the sun. It's going to be a really amazing month. I'm really excited about already the conversations that are taking place around the theme of this box. A link to this book and to the box will be down below because I purposely made more than usual so that we can bring more people into the ritual, because I think that working together as witches and weaving that web in a stronger, more illuminated way, I think is the way to go forward. And so that's what we're doing. I wanted to say that with this book, because what it reminds me of is a thinner version of the gorgeous series that Llewellyn is putting together on the elements, right? So those of you who have been following along, I think I've done a review of the two books. We did the Water Element Magic series book for Llewellyn, and that was an air box that we put together, and that was with Lilith Dorsey. And then we did Air with Estrella Taylor, and those two books are, to date, those books are probably the most comprehensive. I know we're not talking about these books, but I'm talking about books. The most comprehensive correspondence books I've ever read. They have so much information. Surprisingly, because I started this video by saying that Pagan Portals I'm not a big fan of the Pagan Portals series. But this book and the job that Rachel Patterson did with this book goes in. There is an extensive list of all these different great ideas and correspondences for sun magic. So for that reason, again, like I said, I regret that I saw this after I had already put that box together, because this is something that I would have included in that box. If you got the box, if you're going to get the box and you want to add a layer to that work, I would recommend this book. So a link to this will also be down below, along with a link to the other things that Rachel has done. Again, short and sweet, but reading this, I just got a bunch of ideas of other things that can be done, and we may talk about that in the deep dive at the end of the month as well, if there's time, because it seems like if we're going to do some kind of ritual work for the deep dive, it tends, like last month we had 2 different deep dives to cover the one box because there was just so much to talk about. We're still talking about that box. There you go. So great job, Rachel. And there it is. Boom. Sun Magic by Rachel Patterson, Pagan Portals. All the links will be down below. If you are working with the Sun Magic box, if you've worked with Sun Magic before and are not part of the subscription and don't have the box, I would love to hear your thoughts on that work that you're doing down below in the comments section. And as always, happy reading. Let me know what you're reading, and we will talk with each other again next week. Take care.